Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing amazing today, and we're going to jump right on into it. We're going to be working with resin, and you may recognize this canvas in front of you. I will link the video up above that shows you how I attached this fabric to a wooden gesso block that I bought from Joann's. And then I did a thin coat of resin over it just so that when I started to work on it, the texture of the fabric wouldn't interfere with my design. So if you want to use something like a fabric, you're going to have to do a thin layer of resin. Now, I will say there's some bumps and some, the edges are a little bit rough, but once I do this layer on there, that should be covered. And if not, it doesn't matter because I always do a top coat over my piece once I'm finished designing it. And what the top coat does is it adds depth to your design. So let's see, I don't think I have one to show you right now, but there's a big difference between a painting that is made with resin and then a painting that is made with resin and then has a top coat on it. It just adds some depth to it. So today I'm using KS resin, my favorite new resin. $70 a gallon, free shipping in the US. They only deliver in the US. They only sell in the US. $70 a gallon. This is only the 32 ounce one, but this is the Liquid Art Ultra UV epoxy, and then they have an Ultra UV that's $90 a gallon. But with the free shipping and the price, it's very economical for me to use it. Non-yellowing, the heat temperature on it is 450 degrees. I think it withholds up to 450 degrees. Works for at least for me an hour. If you use something like an acrylic ink or acrylic paint to color your resin, it's going to shorten your time no matter what type of resin you use. So I love it. I love it. And if you're interested in it, I do have a code below and you will save I think it's 5% or $5 off. I think it's 5. No, I think it's 5%. So anyway, onward. So I've mixed up my resin. Now this fabric, unfortunately, I didn't notice when I laid it down, had a black stain on it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is kind of like a half, I don't want to call it a negative space because there's print there, but I'm going to design kind of like on an angle like this. And I've picked out some pretty, some warm shades, some brown colors, a copper, and then I want this striking hot pink from Just Resin, just a little bit through it. I think it's going to just really, really scream out. So the colors I'm using, I got this at Blick. I'm going to see if I can find it on Amazon and link it in my shop. It's a liquid metallic permanent paint. It's like liquid leaf or gold leaf in liquid form. So kind of like almost spray paint, we'll say, but no sprayer, you pour it. So I'm going to be using this. And the thing is I've picked out some colors. I don't know what colors I'm going to use though, so I'm going to mix them one at a time as I use them. I have some spiced ginger from Resin Art, some tiger eye from Resin Art, some golden autumn from Resin Art, some blushing lily from Resin Art, the hot pink or fluorescent, no, it's hot pink from Just Resin, then Bombay ink, Dr. Martens. I have Van Dyke brown, and then I also pulled out 2 white inks because I don't necessarily want to create any cells, so I don't want to use a base tint. So I'm going to try to get away with not creating cells using one of these calligraphy colors, which you can use these, but again, they behave like acrylic paint and resin, so it will shorten your time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a thin layer of clear on here. My resin is very thick because last night, Connecticut is horrible this time of the year. One minute it's 100 degrees, and then like last night it went down to 30. So my resin was in my room here. I didn't move it back out to the kitchen, thinking about, you know, the colder months. I usually keep it out there so it doesn't get thick on me. So it was a little bit thicker and harder to mix, but that's not the resin's fault. That's the temperature. All resins do that. If you leave them in a cold room, they will get thick in the bottle. Now, even though this edge is a little jagged from the fabric sticking out, after I do this layer, I will assess it. And if it still feels jaggedy, like the resin didn't cover it, then what I'll do is I'll go around with a sander and sand it. I could have did it first and got it out of the way, but I figured the less work I have to do, the better. Especially with my hands, with the way they are, just in pain all the time. So if I could get away without having to do it, then I take the easy way out. So we'll just see how it goes. I will be able to tell you at the end of this video if I will have to sand it before the top coat. So you just want to spread it out. I like to use my hand. It just works better for me than the spatulas and all that. It just takes me longer, excuse me, to get it where I want it. So I just use my hand, double glove. So also the Resin Art colors, if there's any that you like, I have code for that. I have code for a few things in the description. Alrighty, so I'm going to remove my glove. And then I'm going to torch. Now, a bunch of people have been asking me torch questions. So this little torch, I got it at Home Depot. If you have a Home Depot nearby, or a Lowe's possibly may have it. It's a Burns-O-Matic brand. It's sold where the tools are. I also have it linked in my Amazon shop for those that can't get to a Home Depot or Lowe's. It's very simple to use. It was under $30. It's very simple to refill. Just make sure, you know, whenever you use an open flame that you're very cautious. A fire extinguisher is a good idea. But you absolutely, I feel it is 100% necessary to have one for resin work and acrylic work. You can pop some of the air bubbles with a heat gun, but I don't feel like you get all of them. And then when the resin starts to cure a little bit, not cure, but it's, you know, you're done working on it and it's about 30 minutes later and you have to do that last popping of the bubbles, you can very easily burn your resin with a heat tool. So that's why I like this. Okay. I will try to remind myself before the video ends to show you how to refill it with the little can here. But you need a can of this when you buy this torch. It comes empty. So now you just want to kind of bend over, take a look sideways at the surface of your resin to see if there's anything in there. I have a few specks of dust here that I'm trying to grab. Dust is inevitable, especially in my house. So just take a quick look. You can always do this too after you're done designing. But if you have a really cool pattern and you have to now go in there and pick crap out, there's a chance you'll disrupt your pattern and it won't be as nice. So I'm just looking, I'm picking at air bubbles here. That, see, now that was a hair and this will be a hair. Okay. And I missed a little spot here to cover. Also bending to the side like this and looking over your surface like this with the light from the window. You can also see if you fully coated your canvas. It's another thing that it's good for. All right, so first color I'm going to use for sure is going to be, let's see. Let's go with some of the Golden Autumn. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of resin in here. So maybe an ounce. And then, I'm not sure if you can see me or not, I'm going to put in just a little tiny scoop. That's probably too much, but I'm heavy-handed with my colorants. I always have been. For resin art, the rule is 1/8 of a teaspoon per ounce of resin. So 1/8 of a teaspoon of color per ounce of resin. So my main objective now is to cover this dark spot, and I also had another dark spot in the fabric. So let's see if we can go kind of down that way. And then I'll take the rest of it and kind of just, I like to pour little puddles of the color with like little tails, like tadpoles. And just not the same design. So like right there, I did a little puddle of the color, no little tail. I feel like when you pour your colors in a straight line like this, that you can't really design much out of it. And that's just my 2 cents. I think the more free you are and don't think about it as much, the better it comes out. At least that's how it is for me. All right, so that's the first color. The next color is going to be the Tiger Eye, which is a beautiful, beautiful color. So again, just a little amount in the cup. It mixes in really, really easy. Not sure if you can see that good, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is kind of on top of these that I just did, and then like work my way out. Totally random. By the way, this canvas, I had my sides taped because the sides are wood and I wanted to try to preserve them. So there is tape on the sides. Okay, that's that one. Next, I'm going to come in with some of that Van Dyke Brown, because you don't want all shimmer. You want some flat colors in there. Now, I'm hoping that this isn't transparent. We shall see, because I don't want to see the lace underneath this area when I'm done. There's my cup of resin. These have little droppers on it, so I would put a full dropper in there, and then let's mix it up and see how dark it is. Looks like chocolate, melted chocolate. Let it come off of your stick, and then if you're seeing the stick through it still, you need to add a little more color. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Put a dropper full in again. Now, if I were to let this sit in the cup and not use it right away, it would get very marshmallowy and stringy within a couple of minutes. So that's why I don't really like to use acrylics with resin, because it cuts down the work time. Not that they don't look beautiful, it's just you do lose a lot of work time. Okay. For me, I would normally not make a painting this color, but I'm trying to go outside of my comfort zone and try to explore some different shades of colors, because it's just the same thing over and over for me. Let's see what this blushing lily would look like. Just a little bit. See if it goes good. There's that powder. These powders look like ground up metal. They are the coolest things. So that's what that looks like, the blushing lily. But not sure if I want to add that in there, because I have that hot pink. So I'm going to put that to the side for a minute. And I'm going to go over to the spiced ginger and see what shade that gives me. Just a little bit. You don't need much. Now, usually I don't work like this. I know my color scheme. I know what I want. And all my colors are mixed up. But this time I'm not sure. So, and that one will work okay. All right, so we will go with the spiced ginger. It's a pretty color. All right, so that one we're going to put okay. And now, I'm not going to do the hot pink until last. That I'm going to be streaking through. So, now I got to decide about my white, which I do want to put just a little white in here to bring this and that background together, because there's the white canvas, right? So, don't need much, just a little tiny bit. And for that, I'm going to go with the Pen White by Dr. Martin. I was going to go, this one is an iridescent, but I think I have enough shiny stuff in there already. The only matte color I have is that brown. So let's use this. My little dropper is clogged on this, so I'm just gonna pour it in. Maybe. Oh, that's old. It's turning hard in the bottle. I got a little bit out though. All right. So, let's see. I will just plop it in there, here and there. Because don't forget too, I still have my copper to use. Just a little bit of white here and there. Okay, now I'm gonna blow it around. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna put my copper in first. Then I'm gonna blow it around and add the pink. So, what I want to do is I want to reserve a little bit of the copper just in case I need it for after to do a little bit of streaking. This stuff you have to shake up. As you can hear, there's a ball in there. And then you just need a couple of drops, really. It smells just like spray paint, which I absolutely love. Yes, I'm a freak and love the smell of gas and spray paint. So, I'll show you this now. This is really, really cool, metallic. All right. So we have that. I'm going to put a little bit of it in there. Oh, look, I dropped some. How awesome. I said, don't put the cup over the thing, Tammy. And what did I do? I dropped it in there. I knew that it had poured down the side of my cup. Oh, well, maybe we'll go with that theme. Why not? Right? Accidents happen. Happy accidents. I'm actually wearing a Bob Ross shirt right now, not that you can see it. All right. Enough playing. Let's get down to business. Let's get down and dirty, shall we? First thing I'm going to do is torch. Oh, let me show you how to do this. So with this torch, there's a little hole in the bottom here. Let's put the nozzle from the can, push until it starts spitting back out at you and you know it's full. All done. That easy. Now, instead of torching, I'm going to use, no, I'm not going to do it. You're not supposed to use a torch for a minute after you fill it. I was very tempted there, so I'm going to leave it alone. Let's just do the heat. I just realized something. My nozzle is on backwards. Okay. This heat gun is in my Amazon shop, under $30, has 5 attachments, I believe. This one is really good for blowing stuff out that are in a pattern like this. They have different shapes. Very good heat gun. Thing is once you turn it on within 10 seconds, you can't touch this. It's scalding hot. Luckily, I caught it right before it got hot, so just an FYI. I'm just heating up that resin. All right. Bear with me. All right, sorry about that. I had to turn my canvas sideways to be able to reach with my heat gun because I have it plugged in somewhere where I normally don't plug it in. So here we go. You know, I have to say, I usually don't work with brown in this color scheme, but these colors are absolutely stunning together. What a classy looking piece. Yes, I am tooting my own horn for once because I think that's beautiful. The way that it's kind of just waving out into the clear and the over the pattern. Let me just torch a little bit here. And I've changed my mind about the hot pink. I think I'm just going to add a little tiny bit more of that copper, and that's it. I'm going to call it done because I am really, really loving that. I don't even know if you really need, see some areas there's no copper, so you probably do need a little tiny bit. Just kind of weaving it in there. Wow. I apologize, my neighbors at it again with the lawnmower. I swear. I have to find this guy a girlfriend because nobody should be cutting their lawn 5 times a week. Or else he sees me doing what I'm doing up here because my window's open and my ring light is on. And he says, oh, I'll get her. Wow, that is pretty. And when you walk like side to side, the copper is lighting up in areas. I'm really not adding that much. Just a little tiny bit. But my God, it is stunning. I did not expect those colors to make me happy. I'm just watching where I put this because I don't want to disrupt my pattern too much. Yeah, that's it. I'm not touching it anymore. I'll torch it and clean it up a little bit. And I will tell you right now, I'll have to do the sides. I'll have to sand them before I do the top coat. Well, okay, coming to get you guys. If you like the video, guys, please click the like button. I have a word, not a thumb. Also, if you're a new subscriber or old, can you please look into your notification bell? Just click on it and make sure that it is on all and not personalized. Personalized, what YouTube did was, I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys this without that glare. What YouTube did was they did an update and they changed the bell and how it works. So now when you subscribe to a channel, you have the choice to get some of the notifications, all of them, or none of them. So if you could just click on all, that would be awesome so you don't miss any videos. So I'm trying to use this ring light to my advantage. If you see where the ring light is right here, when it gets close to the copper, so you see it starting to light up? So that's what it looks like in person when you walk by it. It's really, really, really pretty. So just use that ring light right now to your advantage to see what's really going on here. And then I'll give you a close-up the other way. You see that? Really pretty. Okay. So there you have it. if I was going to display this, I would display it the long way. Like that. Let me shut off that light for you. I would display it like that, or like this. Anyway, I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Check out the links below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, make somebody smile today. Do whatever you have to do to be a good person. I hope you all have an amazing day and happy pouring.